Ready?
Born ready, girl. Wagwan sports fans, and welcome to the inaugural airing of our new show.
Yes.
I'm your host Joe Mar,
I'm Rush.
and this are that sports TV, the place you guys come to get the best and most interesting topics on the internet. And this is the first show of Studio Talk.
Studio Talk, people. I don't know, Joe Mar just said the name just like that. No look of vibes, no look of energy. But this is Studio Talk. I feel like this will be the hit show on this side of sports TV. How you feel about that? Because email talk, and it'll pick up like a steam. But when I feel like him can outdo the Studio Talk still.
So are you attempting to live in email style?
Not at all.
Is that what you're saying?
No, not at all. What I'm attempting to do, matter of fact, it's not even just an attempt. I'm going to show email how it's done.
No respect to man like email still. Email are putting in the work and we love what email is doing. People, go and go check out email's videos.
For sure. That's email talk. That's one show on this side of sports TV. We have other shows, Keeping Up with the Reggae Boys, EPL show, Fantasy show. And this is just another one. It's called Studio Talk, people. Tell us if you like the name. And this is just where we talk all things sports. It could be random topics throughout the year. So we're not specific to any sport, to any team. We're just here to talk some football, talk some sports.
Yeah, but you said something, and you said we have other shows like Keeping Up with the Reggae Boys and our EPL shows.
Yeah, that's an important thing to say.
Those shows as individual shows, like from this point on, are cancelled. They'll now be a part of Studio Talk.
Yeah.
So this is our as you would have alluded to before, undisputed or first take or zone, where we come on and we interact with you guys at a set time, set place. This or that sports TV, and we have a segmented, organized show. And if you guys didn't get to watch all of the show, you can catch the rebroadcasted clips on the internet next day.
Yeah, tell them about the format for a second. How many segments are we looking to have? How long will the show be?
Well, the show will be like most morning or evening talk shows, 45 minutes to an hour long, consisting of 3 to 4 segments per episode. And they'll be moderated professionally, and we'll just segue through them like any other show that you guys would tune in to watch at a set time and set days.
There we go. People, don't forget to like this one. Leave a comment on the video and subscribe to this or that sports TV. The one more thing for us though.
Share the video to at least 10 people, but ensure to get us 6 subscribers, because if each and every one of you guys can get us 6 subscribers, do you know how many subscribers that get us by the end of the day?
There we go. A lot of people. So let's move into the first segment of Studio Talk.
No, but before we move into the first segment, so we just intro the new show, right? But generally when we start, welcome to Studio Talk. I'm Joe Mar, and this is Rush. And on today's show, we'll be speaking about Dujon Richards and what's next and what was. We'll be speaking about the Reggae Boys and their new deal with Adidas, how that will aid or impact or affect the football going forward. And lastly, we'll have our weekly English Premier League show.
There we go.
That's the lineup for today's inaugural episode of Studio Talk.
Yeah, and it's a good lineup, and we'll be going in that order. So let's go with the first one. Whisper, is he done with Jamaica? What did he do in Jamaica? What is he going to do next? What do you have to say about that one?
Dujon Whisper Richards, the best under 18 player, and some might say under 20 player in the whole region, or at least the Caribbean, and I think this is not a bad claim to make. And this season, he definitely stamped his authority on the whole of schoolboy football, doing remarkable things, having one of, if not the best schoolboy football season that has ever been had by a schoolboy footballer. Yeah. Unfortunately, unlike the likes of other prodigies for other countries, like, Henrique, from Brazil, who have already played at the age group level. We see Messi, who would have been playing at the under 20s, winning the under 20 World Cup, 17 years old. Him and Aguero, both way younger than than the required age. You know, Dejan Richards has yet to don the colours for the Reggae Boys, and some might say that's a massive travesty. I am one of those people who believe that, you know, not playing at under 17 level, absolutely absurd. And not playing in this most recent under 20 level, I think also absurd.
Yeah.
And because of that, his handlers and the people in his camp are saying that they are this close to turning their back on Jamaica.
They're very unhappy. You know, they have major issues with the JFF at this point, because I feel like it's a general consensus at this point that Whisper is the best under 18 player in the country, right? And a lot of people even go under 20 in the country, right? And the fact that he's not just standing out at this level. You know, he stood out at the under 13 level for Harborview. He stood out, you know, in the under 14 competitions for Kingston College, where he got the record. He stood out last season in the course competition, and he did, you know, just that again in the Manning Cup competitions. You know, so a lot of people say that they haven't seen him. I would say that that's a lie, because his name, you know, has been on a lot of people's radar from he was 13 years old. You know, doing well in, you know, the Cassava competitions and in, you know, Jamaica's domestic leagues. He's been doing well in the schoolboy football. He's been doing well, not playing at the under 15 level, not playing at the under 17 level, and under 20 level. Under 20 level last year he didn't play. No, I understand why they're upset, but let's talk about the issue at hand. Is it justified to remove him from the Jamaican pool right now? Does it make sense for them? How do you feel about them threatening to do that? Because I do believe it's a threat and it's a message. It's a warning to the JFF to get the act right, or this kid could just be playing for some other countries. How do you feel about that?
Well, first and foremost, I've heard it from the Richards camp directly that he can become eligible to play for a few countries.
Yeah.
You know, apparently, Mr. Richards, that's Dejan's father, you know, has ties with Trinidad, has ties with America, and has ties with England.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hearing that if the right steps are taken, Dejan Richards can become eligible for each of these countries, in addition to the fact that at this point he's 17 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So if he goes to Belgium and stands out, by the time he's 23 years old, he will be eligible to play for that Belgian team, and getting a passport for him will be an easy feat for any country that's interested in being successful in football. They have high hopes for this individual, and they believe and he believes that one day he wants to be contending, not to be the best Jamaican player, but to be contending for the Ballon d'Or.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the hopes that his father sets for him and that he sets for himself. He wants to be competing with the best in the world, not just the best in the region. And because of that, he genuinely believes that at 23 years old, Dejan Richards will be the pearl of any country that he's in at that current point in time. So he's saying Jamaica need to get him right now and cap time right now, because he will not be available. Do I think that's the right decision?
Right now. Because in 2 years' time, we could be having a whole different discussion. When Whisper is 18 and playing in Belgium or playing in Germany and standing out, we could be saying, yo, go ahead. And the discussion is not even there to be had. No, he's not there yet. You know, he has 1 more year. Is it too early to make the decision? How do you feel about them sending that message to the JFF right now while he's 17, you know, to cap time at 17? How do you feel about that?
He wants to be captain, and if somebody wants to be captain, why not captain him? Like,
is it too early
to cap?
To demand that, yo, if you don't captain me right now, I'm going to play for another country.
And he's not making demands to be captain. He's not making demands for a senior call-up.
Mm-hmm.
He's just saying that at this point, the time is coming very close where for him to have not represented the country yet is absurd, and he will not sit around waiting for Jamaica to call him up. He wants to play international football.
Yeah.
And he wants to play at that level. And right now he's heavily contemplating Trinidad and Tobago. You know, I heard that's where he's at. And he's saying how good of a program can be built around him. You know, and imagine having a whole nation's football be built around you as that pivotal player in that team.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying he'd rather go to a country where he's truly appreciated and valued and his worth is identified and not be as successful than being at a country where he should be valued and isn't valued. So Trinidad and Tobago seems like something that the Richards camp because of their paternal ties to Trinidad and Tobago, I think, is heavily considering.
Yeah, and I understand and I agree with the Richards camp. I feel like he should, be appreciated a bit more, by the JFF. They need to, have some sort of relationship with Whisper. I feel like at this moment they have no relationship with him. He was called up to the training camp for the under 20 competition. He didn't make the cut for whatever reasons. I'm hearing injury was an issue. Then I heard from his camp that wasn't an issue. I'm hearing that he missed a training or some of that sort. But I watched a video. I watched a practice match at that training session. Whisper stood out. Whisper scored goals. And you could see that he was one of the best players on that pitch. And I saw a lot of players that did make the cut. So I knew that was the training camp. So I agree with them. Our relationship must be formed right now. In terms of sending the message that they are willing to play for other countries, I feel like it feels too soon for me. I understand what they're saying, but it feels a bit soon. I feel like they're not seriously contemplating it right now. I feel like they're saying in the future, it is something that we'll think about. But right now, I don't think they're willing to make a decision right now. And on the JFF side, I think that Whisper's call-up is coming. And especially for the fact that we have Olympic qualifiers coming. They informed me of that today. We have international football this year for the senior men. I feel like a call-up is coming.
They might still say he's too young for that Olympic team.
Based on what he did this year against under 19 players, no. I feel like he showed that he's above the level. I feel like he demonstrated that he's way above, the under 18 level the under 19 level in Jamaica. Plus, again, I'm going to say, we've said it on our show before, players that stand out in the Manning Cup to this degree, and we've never seen this. So players that stand out to this degree usually make light work of the JPL or the RSPL at the time. They usually do. So the Junior Flemings, the Alex Marshalls, the Javian Browns, and none of them did what Whispers did this year or last year. So it is a clear indication that, if Whisper was to make that transition to the JPL, he would have done well. So again, let's make the assumption that Whisper is at the level to play with grown men in the country.
Because Olympic qualifiers is going to be an under 21 competition. Olympic
and he's 17. I feel like he's old enough, man. And if you're good enough, you're old enough. I don't care if the kid is 15, 16, or 17. And if the kid is good enough, he's old enough. Put the man in the squad. And I honestly believe that his call-up is coming. I really believe so. I don't think the Richards camp should pull the plug yet. Maybe give him until he plays a season in. If this year passes and there's no call-up, definitely increase the fire. Definitely increase the push to get him into the national setup. But if he plays a year outside of Jamaica, somewhere in Europe, Craig Butler see him super confident. I heard him say on Ryan's show the other day that the only way Whisper doesn't make it as a professional footballer is injury, or he just decides to not trust them anymore. But as long as that kid continues to do what he's doing, he will be in Europe. He said that on the show, 100%. So if Whisper plays one season in Europe and is not considered, is not called up, is not there for a friendly, make a move, brother. Make a move. Because if at that point our 18-year-old is standing out in Belgium, similar to what Liam Bailey did in Belgium, and not receive a call up at 18 years old, or at 19 years old, or at 20 years old, or at 21. If Liam Bailey pulled the plug, I would have understood. So if Whisper falls in that same situation as Liam Bailey a couple years ago, I would definitely understand him doing that. But right now at 17 years old, I feel like they should hold off at least until he's 18 or 19.
All right, so you referenced Olympic qualifiers, and I think our Olympic qualifying team should look similar to our recent under 20 team that would have failed to secure a World Cup qualification.
Yep.
How do you think Dejan Richards would have fit into that under 20 team? And do you think the likes of Scarlett and Jamari Clark in that front line, he would have had a spot being 16 at the time as compared to these men?
Let's do it.
We're 18.
Let's do it, because a lot of people they have issues with this fact. That under 20 squad was called up, Whisper wasn't in. I personally have an issue with it. So we are going to go through the squad, more so the midfield and attacking line, the attacking line. Let's just say the attacking players, the last two line in this graphic here. Let's speak about the players that we see here, players that we were happy with, and who we think shouldn't have made the trip, and Whisper should have made it over there, right? So let's talk about it. We have Tyler Roberts from Wolves, very good player.
And he was a
very good player.
Standout in the competition.
I can't say that player should have been left out. Based on what I saw from him in the under 20, he plays at the academy level for Wolves. That's a very high level, and those are the type of players that we should have in and around our under 20 program right now. So I cannot say that Tyler shouldn't have made this under 20 squad.
Professional footballer.
There we go. That's
what he does for a living.
For sure. Let's talk about Jamon Barkley. Now, I like this player. You know, he's a KC captain last year. Good player. Decent player at the under 18, at the under 19 level in the Manning Cup. You know, he won the Manning Cup. He led Kingston College with a good performance to the championship, right?
He was the captain of that team, but that team was led straight to by Christopher Pierce.
We know. So I say that to say I like Jamon Barkley as a player, right? Decent player. He's in college now in America. You know, played some good football in Jamaica. If Jamon Barkley made this squad,
what Jamon Barkley did when he was 19 was a quarter of what Dijon Richards did.
This is the point I'm making. If Jamon Barkley made this squad in the summer, there's no way Whisper could make this squad. No way. You know, and it sounds harsh.
There is absolutely nothing on that football field that Jamon Barkley does better than Dijon Richards. Not one.
And they play the same position. Yeah. Jamon Barkley is a left-footed left winger. Or right winger.
Yeah.
They play the same position. He can play as a forward. He can play as a number 10. And Whisper just does it 2 or 3 more times better than him. You know, and if he's doing that right now, the competition was in the summer. Whisper stood out in that same year, 2 or 3 months later. He was the same player. Jamon Barkley, good player, like Jamon Barkley. Feel like, you know, can get a good 4 years out of NCAA, get a good education. If he improves, you know, maybe can make it somewhere.
Yeah, good player. I believe if he improves, he has a shot at the MLS, at the Super Draft, and then at USL maybe.
Yeah.
Based on where he is at right now. Dijon Richards
right now he's ready.
Dijon Richards goes to university.
Yeah.
He starts school in September.
He will not finish the year. He will not finish the year.
Yeah, he's going to the Super Draft.
He will not finish his first year.
Andre Lewis's and
here we go.
And guys like those who went to school for 3 months.
All right.
Dijon Richards.
All right. Again, Jamon Barkley, very good player like Jamon Barkley. But I feel like Whisper should have made it over him.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Chad James from Marset FU. He came on a lot of the games and did well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, very good player. Can't say that we should have left that player.
No,
really good performance from him.
Do believe that Dijon Richards might be better than him.
Yeah, I can see how he's better than him, but I can't say he should have been left out.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Kobe Thomas from Inter Miami 2. He was a decent player, but I can't say he's better than Whisper.
Another player professional pedigree. You know, I love the fact that we are having fully professionals on our youth teams. You know, that's showing that Jamaica is moving in a very good direction. However, I think Dijon Richards could well be playing at an academy level in the MLS. In fact, I've heard it from MLS scouts themselves that they'd love to have Dijon Richards in and around the MLS program.
If Whisper had an American passport, he would be in an academy. In fact, he probably would be, you know, playing in some USL team or some MLS, training with some MLS team. He's that good. I don't think people understand how good this kid is. You know, we see a lot of players play at this level and they just don't do what Whisper do and don't make it look as easy as he, you know, does it. So I do believe that, you know, with an American passport, I feel like he walks into most of the places that these players are. You know, so let's talk about another player. That was Kobe Thomas from Inter Miami 2. Let's talk about Devontae Campbell from Mount Pleasant. I think he wore the number 7. He was a good player.
National player.
Yeah.
Senior team player.
Yeah. I'm not mad at that one.
One of 2 players who were called up who have senior. One of 3 players on this team who had senior call-ups.
Yeah.
The other 2 were Tarek Zimmies and Christopher Pearson. Devontae Campbell to that point was called up by the Reggae Boys before.
Yeah, I'm not mad at this one. Again, similar level. I can't say he's my line Whisper.
He's not better than Dijon.
He's not. So yes, he was playing at Mount Pleasant, and yes, he got his call up for the national team and blah, blah, blah. So naturally, we would expect him to make this team easily.
Sure.
So I'm not mad at that one. But again, not better than Whisper for me. And Jamari Clark, we're not going to spend too much time on that. Jamari Clark is a shoo-in for the team. Played at the championship, scored championship goal. In fact,
to be honest, I think this is the only player that's in Dijon's class.
I think
he's 2 years older than him.
I think at the moment he just might be better than Whisper right now.
Slightly might be more mature. Might be more mature than Dijon Richards. Dijon Richards and Jamari Clark are so similar. But I think Dejan Richards possesses a more diverse skill set than Jamari Clark.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jamari Clark plays centrally, he gets on the ball, he has good touches, he can really finish. But I think Dejan Richards offers so much more. But I think what Jamari Clark can do, he might be better than Dejan Richards, but I think Dejan Richards is so much more versatile. They're about the same size.
Mm-hmm.
Dejan Richards is a bit more quick and more versatile. But I think Jamari Clark is a professional.
Yeah, and that 19, 18 years old, Whisper will be better than.
Well,
but Jamari Clark, I'm not going to spend too much time on that.
Jamari Clark was 18 years old when he was playing last year. Jamari Clark is 19.
Yeah, and if Whisper is that close to him right now, Whisper at 18 or 19 will be better than him.
Yeah, but like when
definitely at 18 when he was 18 or 19. I believe so. But Jamari Clark, bro, we're not even. He's a shooting for the squad.
Has championship goals.
I know.
Yeah.
But
solid player.
Should be in this squad. That's the point. We're not gonna argue that one.
Yeah.
And the last one is Zion Scarlett from Columbus Crew. Started the competition slow, but came into his own and did well in the competition. Now go fight that one. Did well for us. Another player that we should keep around the program. See how these players improve. Again, they're under 20 years old.
Yeah.
The next 2 or 3 years are very important for these players. So, Scarlett, good player. Can't say that we shouldn't have had him in this squad. Let's go to a few more players though. Christopher Pearson, I feel like had a poor under 20 competition. Good player. Played for Tulsa. I see that they renewed his contract, so he has 1 more year. Alexander Bicknell, really good competition from him.
Yeah, but not
at all. Duncan McKenzie, I don't think he's better than Whisper. Malachi Douglas, I don't think he's better than Whisper. Romain Blake, in Whisper's class as a defender, but that's a defender.
And Malachi Douglas and Dejan Richards played in the same schoolboy situation this year. And Malachi Douglas is a good player, and Dejan Richards far outclassed him. Romain Blake and Dejan Richards plays in the same exact competition. And Dejan Richards, by all accounts, for all intents and purposes, was the MVP of the same competition that he shared with Romain Blake.
And let's talk about it. Lamont Rochester played in the competition last year. Did he stand out to this level? Tariq Zimini also played in the competition and did stand out to this level.
Last year and this year. Last year he was outstanding as a schoolboy footballer. Still didn't have the season that Whisper did.
Yeah.
The only players on that team in Whisper's class was Kanai Boyce Clark, professional footballer, and Jamari Clark, professional footballer. I think Dejan Richards would have been the third best player on that team, or the second best player on that team.
There we go. People, take a quick look at the squad and tell us.
I think it's safe to say Kanai Boyce Clark is the best player on the team, or is the best player on the team right now. And he's the only person in serious consideration for the national senior team right now from that team, which is how it should be, even though Christopher Pearson, Campbell, and Zimini's already all got call-ups. I don't see any call-ups for those players anytime soon. Kanai Boyce Clark is next up for Jamaica.
Yeah.
So he's the only player that is definitively better than Whisper. On this whole entire team, only one player is better than Whisper, and that was the goalkeeper.
Yeah. So people, this is what we're saying. A lot of people are saying it. He didn't make the squad, but no one really broke it down and said, where should he have fitted? I will show you. This is the squad. These are the players that are better than him. He clearly should have made the squad. So him being upset that he didn't make the squad, it's justified. His camp sending a message to the JFF that, hey, consider a player. Don't make the same mistake that you made with Liam Bailey. Don't make the same mistake that you made with the players over the years. Call up this player. Give him a look in.
We're not only saying don't make the same mistakes. They're saying we will not allow you to make the same mistakes.
There we go. We will not leave it up to you. Before we finish this topic, let's talk about the teams that he could play for. One, obviously Jamaica. We need to talk about that one.
Yeah.
Say that England he could play for England.
Yeah.
Is it worth
by I think maternal heritage?
Is it worth shutting down Jamaica? No, for me. No. England is not a team that you shut down Jamaica for.
Well,
no, not if you're not sure. Not if you're unsure.
The thing about it is you are unsure. They believe that in 6 years' time he will be competing for the Ballon d'Or.
So if that's what you believe, then fine. For me, no. And they'll probably say Russia European and doesn't count to us. So fine. But we're talking about it. England, Jamaica, Dejan Richards, very good player. And I hope that in 6 years he's competing for the Ballon d'Or and playing for Jamaica. But I don't think right now you should make a decision to choose England over Jamaica when you don't even have interest from England. On promise, you expect him to have interest, and I understand from the camp. So that's just what I believe. Right now, no. Maybe in 2 or 3 years he's standing out in Belgium and the whispers are coming fine. But right now, no. USA. How you feel about USA?
As I said,
people pardon the part. You know what? Continue. Hopefully nobody will see it. Go on.
Pardon.
No mind it, man. Continue. USA.
Oh, as I said, it's about his trajectory. I wish we had been seeing Whisper in a professional environment right now. I think had that been the case, we'd have had more context because we just spoke about some players that we think Whisper is better than. And Boris Clark has been looked on by youth teams for England. Same with Jamar Clark, he's been looked at by English youth teams. So could Whisper be in that realm? I think had Whisper been American, I think it would have been called up to a USA under 17 team. So based on what they believe his trajectory might look like is what they're using to make a decision.
Understood. But England is hard one. USA
Would Leon Bailey have gone to the World Cup?
This World Cup? No. For England, if he chose England, no. Not based on what we saw. Especially, obviously, it's unfair to say he struggled with injury last season, blah, 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 blah. A lot of context around it. All things considered.
Better question. Do you think Leon Bailey is better than anybody who got called up in this English team?
No. And I don't think that's an unfair take to make. Leon Bailey, baller. The best Jamaican player right now. Never set the stage in the bro.
The only person who will compete with probably Callum Wilson. Probably
Callum Wilson. And that's a probably. Talk about Bukayo Saka, talk about Phil Foden, talk about Marcus Rashford. No. Just no. Not right now.
Leon Bailey better than Jordan Pickford.
All right. USA.
I swear to God, I'm not even.
No, I'm not say no.
I'm not even taking the piss.
No, I'm not say no.
Start Aaron Ramsdale right now. Anyways,
USA. I feel like he could make the decision for USA. I feel like that's a better one than England.
To declare for the United States of America?
I feel like he has a better shot to play for America than for England. And that's not even an unpopular opinion. That's pretty straightforward. It's an easier team to make.
Definitely an easier team to make.
So I understand that one. Trinidad, these are Trinidad and Tobago, right? Obviously. I don't think it's worth it. You are saying if you're going to build a team around him.
Starts for Trinidad right now.
Yeah, but may I say, based on what you would achieve right now to make a decision, I don't think it's worth it. Right now, to make that decision. I feel like you just wait for Jamaica for the next 2 years. And then that's when they pull the plug. Maybe they are fed up. Maybe they're sick and tired of waiting. But I believe that Trinidad and Tobago is not worth it right now.
His father said Lujan Richards will play in the 2026 World Cup. He's not sure for which country.
All right, people. You guys heard that. That's the first segment of Studio Talk Hot One. Very good conversation. I feel like we started off on the right foot.
Yeah.
We're going to make a quick transition to the next topic. People, don't forget to like the video. Leave a comment under this one and subscribe to the Sir That Sports TV. Do one more thing first, though.
Share the video to at least 6 people. Wait, I said that wrong.
You said
and I'm on live TV. What am I doing right now?
I have no clue.
Get it together, Joe.
Please do.
Share the video to at least 10 people, but ensure to get us 6 subscribers. Because if each and every one of you guys can do that, you know how many subscribers that get us by the end of the day.
All right, people, on the second segment of Studio Talk for the 5th of January, the GFF announced their partnership, their sponsorship deal with Adidas. The contract with Umbro came to an end.
And Adidas currently sponsors the best football team in the world.
Yeah. Argentina. And a lot of the can't run it. And a lot of the
I was talking about Arsenal, to be fair.
That's Christ.
Well, yeah.
I agree with you. We can't go around it. People, Adidas is at least now I can be on brand. I can be wearing one brand, and I'm wearing my Arsenal shirt and I'm wearing my Jamaica shirt. They will both have 3 stripes. The colors will be different, people, but we're ripping Adidas right now. But
the colors might be the same.
Colors might be
the same. Arsenal may well just actually get an actual kit like the Jamaica color.
There we go. They might try. So yes, people, they announced it. Adidas is excited for the deal. They tweeted, will soon come. That's what they say, import will soon come with some Jamaican flags. The JFF also tweeted, they announced it, with the Adidas 3 stripes and the Jamaica, the JFF's logo. Right, decided so. Yeah, we're excited for this one, but let's have a very important conversation. What does this Adidas partnership mean for Jamaica?
And first and foremost, is this the biggest brand sponsorship that we've ever gotten? So
on name,
when we got to the World Cup, it was Kappa. Then after Kappa, it was All Sport. And then Romai.
Romai was pretty recent.
Then Kappa again.
Yeah, because I'm saying Romai was pretty recent.
Kappa, All Sport,
Kappa
Kappa,
again,
Romai,
and then Umbro.
then Umbro.
Yeah, and
Since the World Cup.
And then this is Adidas now. I don't know what Kappa meant in 1998. I don't know how big up, but I can't imagine it being bigger than Nike or Adidas.
Back then.
I don't know what it is. People tell me if Kappa was just a thing. You know, I saw a lot of people in Kappa sweatsuit. Even to this day, I see a lot of Kappa sweatsuits. So maybe it was just a thing back in the 90s. But Adidas, being a 90s kid myself, Adidas and Nike are the things that we...
Would you consider yourself a 90s kid though?
What am I then?
I mean, you were pretty close to the 2000s.
Yeah, but
we must admit.
I was in the 90s, people, and I wasn't 99. But anyways, I think this is the biggest one we've had. I think this is the biggest one we've had. And fruitfulness, I don't know if it will be the most fruitful. Now, I heard some whispers that, I know that we just spoke about whisper people. That's not what we're talking about right now. I heard some rumblings that this could be a performance-based partnership. You know, that if we knock off certain achievements, then we get this and then we get that. I wouldn't be surprised. On name though, clearly the biggest.
What I think it will add though, you know, is a sense of better branding, because I do believe that Adidas' marketing team and branding team will participate more in the branding of the football team, because Adidas will get a lot of revenue from the jerseys sold. So I think because of that, and that's a part of the contract, that they will be receiving a lot of revenues from jerseys sold. So I think because of that, they will aid in the branding of the JFF, and that will therefore help with the JFF. You know, so I think that's a standpoint from where Adidas will help us to improve.
Yeah, obviously other people, the first thing they will go to, you spoke about the marketability and the branding of Jamaica. A lot of people will immediately go to the money. We don't know how much money Jamaica getting. I can only imagine it will be hundreds of millions. I can imagine. GMD. I can imagine it being hundreds of millions.
Can you?
Yeah, why not?
I would love to hear the numbers.
Why not? I can imagine it being hundreds of millions. JMD. You know, if we're talking US, it could be single figure.
I could imagine that it would be them facilitating equipment, you know.
Just
not necessarily just there will be a monetary figure, but I don't think it would be that ginormous. As you imagine, I don't think.
Man, I'm hoping, and on the monetary aspect of it, you know, I'm looking forward to that money being put to good use. You know, especially the fact that the girls are going to the World Cup and the girls will be done in Adidas. You know, hopefully qualify for the Olympics. Hopefully the boys qualify for the Olympics, and they can don the colors and as I said, bring in more sponsorship. But on the money side of it, I feel like that could improve the pitches in Jamaica, that could improve the Orisboro Center. You know, a lot of things are there to be done, you know, from the JFF standpoint, and where money is concerned, you know, it maybe could help paying the coach and keeping the coach for longer. A lot of things. But that's what we think it could bring. Let's talk about what the president, you know, expect this partnership to bring. And my cricket said,
let's test the reading skills.
There we go. In an interview, people, I'm not wearing my glasses right now. So if I make any mistakes, I do apologize in advance. So my cricket is the president of the Jamaica Football Federation. And I said that this partnership, we make a mistake on the first word, people.
God.
We make a mistake on the first word. The partnership will support the JFF's effort to develop Jamaican football at all levels.
That's it.
That's what he said. That's so monetary to me. Can't be branding, you know, because if it's going to, you know, help to develop the football, you know, money to develop the football. You know, we're talking about giving teams resources. We're talking about giving schools resources. We're talking about pumping, you know, money heavily into the JPL. We're talking about developing the under 17 and under 15 competitions. We're talking about jerseys and equipment. We're talking about fields. That's money. That's money right there. So I feel like my cricket is expecting, you know, some monetary contribution from the JFF. Are you not seeing money in that one? In that quote?
As I said, I just don't necessarily believe that this sponsorship will be heavily predicated on financial gain for the JFF. I think they'll receive a huge marketing boost from Adidas, and I think that's where it will fundamentally help the program. But in a future episode of Studio Talk, we have to bring the General Secretary, Mr. Chung, on for one of the segments and have him talk to us about this breakdown.
Man, Jamaica's a big brand, bro. And I feel like Jamaica, yes, Adidas is bigger than Jamaica
And
as a brand.
Adidas have tapped into the Jamaica.
That's where I'm going. Jamaica as a brand, and I've often said that pound for pound, Jamaica is one of the greatest nations in the world. Pound for pound, one half. You obviously have greater nations, China and USA and whatever. But I'm talking about.
Biased?
It could be biased, but I'm making my talk. If you don't like it, you just don't like it. That's fine. I hope that you like the show. Pound for pound. Around 3 million people inside of the country. Around 7 or 8. You know, if we include the diaspora. And the impact that Jamaica...
Way more than 7 or 8. Over 11 million people in the diaspora.
Let's see. All right. Over 11 million people. If we speak about the impact...
Remember, sir, the men, work,
No, man, them work, sir.
So, like, it was 8 million, you know? Like,
It was.
a few years
ago.
But remember,
But the man am multiplying.
Remember, them are working, so
Yeah,
them
yeah,
go
yeah.
New York and them go London and Brixton, innit? And Toronto.
Yeah.
You know, even at Panama, like, it works up.
Yeah.
So, I don't really 8 million no more.
People him say 11, I'm now fight it.
No more than that.
But even so, the impact that Jamaica has on the world, you know, the people that try to speak like us, the people that wear our colors, you know, I feel like Adidas stand to gain from this partnership. You know, if Jamaica does well, I'm pretty sure Adidas will be doing well. You know, I feel like we'll have an impact on Adidas. Now let's talk about Adidas already tapping into the Jamaican side of things before even the deal. Talk about Ajax, red, green, and gold kit.
Mm.
You know, that was 2 years ago. You remember that Rasta color kit, and they were clear that it was Jamaican, you know, inspired. We talk about Arsenal's training, warm-up kit just this year, just this football year, but last year, you know, and then the partnership came on, you know, and they weren't shy about the Jamaican side of it. That
also with the promotion having Emil Smith Rowe being a big face of the marketing for that situation.
Who is not shy of his Jamaican heritage?
Who is not shy of his Jamaican heritage?
You know, so people, Adidas are looking to do something with Jamaica, and I feel like they stand to benefit. No, these are what we expect. These are the things that we expect. These are the things that the president expect from the partnership. Another question that I have right there is the JFF loaded? No, obviously you're going to say no because you don't expect a lot of monetary gain. But respond to the people that would say that the JFF is getting $2 million US from Adidas, man. Talk to them.
2 million? I think, you know, you said hundreds of million.
GMD.
You said hundreds of million, which will assert like closer to 10 million US. Mm-hmm. I don't think. I think 1 to 2 million. I think that's about the range that I'd expect the JFF and the Reggae Boys brand as it stands right now to yield. Mm-hmm. You know, I think anything more than that might be Adidas investing in the future. And as you said, you heard about it being, you know, possibly performance enhanced or performance based, where I think they will get a lot of the money on the back end rather than what they'll sign for guaranteed. So I think $1 to $2 million might be just around the figure. Yeah, I don't see it being closer to 10, 12, 15 million. I don't necessarily see that.
All right. Another place I want to take this conversation is the kits. You know, a lot of people are talking about the kits and what they look like.
And something I wanted to talk to. I know that.
Go for it.
I know that unfortunately, you know, I wasn't prepared people. You know, sometimes Rush is the prepared one because this is something that I'm just thinking about. But what we could do, and I don't know if the producer could manage to bring them up while we're doing this segment, is go back to all the kits since 1998.
1998 is a long time to go, man. I don't think
necessarily. There's not very many kits since 1998. I can distinctly remember every single kit that we've worn since 1998. I can remember.
But you can talk about them without even us bringing them up.
So the 1998 kit, that's the iconic kit that we wore.
Yeah.
You know, the yellow with the design on the side, so on and so forth. And I think those kits are nostalgia personified. Like that's the kit that, you know, every time I see somebody in that shirt, you know, that's the shirt that we wore when we went to the World Cup. Yeah. 1998. And then after that, when All Sport came and took over, this was my first kit in my brain box, as they'd say. Which I remember the kits with the oval type thing on the side of the shirt.
Is that the super long sleeve?
Not necessarily with
the one that the sleeves are always down here.
No, those were from 98 with the.
No, man, may I show you which one I talk. Go on, talk.
Yeah, so the All Sport ones now. This was like the Ricardo Fuller and the Luton Shelton days with like the kit the kit it had a design on the side of it and a design on the shorts or whatever. Then you had a different old sports kit that wasn't nearly as nice designed. Then you had the copper kits again, which was the absolute plainest kit ever known to man.
Copper had some really long sleeves.
I don't know
I'm
what
going to show it to you,
talking about. But the copper kit that I'm talking about
Mhm.
was in Rudolph Austin style.
And it plain.
Yeah, them those were the first like modern type kits to have with it like fit, like you'd have like tight fitting shirts that time I remember. And it only had like one single copper logo, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of boring. What are you guys trying to do? And then after that, now you had the renaissance of or the emergence of the Romai kits, who I think are the coldest kits Reggae Boys have ever worn. The one with the little trim right there, and I can only remember like us going to the Copa America with those and stuff like that. Those are super cold, and I don't think any kits. That's the copper kit that I was talking about. I don't think any kits that the Reggae Boys have worn have beaten those Romai kits. And then after we've seen the last few with Umbra, where there's some nice kits from Umbra. But I think those Romai kits that we wore just before Umbra, super cool with the little things on the sleeves.
All right, people have a few kits to look at. These are the two most recent kits. I'm not going to talk about them. We know these kits well. The two bottom ones were 2 years ago. 2 years ago. What do you think about those kits? I'm pretty plain.
As I said, good kits like the yellow shirt, it might seem plain, but we've seen it up close and personal.
Details.
And there are some ridiculous details in those kits. So I think the penultimate Umbra kit, which is the bottom two that we're speaking about right now, I think the yellow one, the home kit, I think goes crazy, bro.
I like the detail on it. From far, you can't see it.
Yeah, from a distance, you can't see it. But when you see it up close, you see how nice of a shirt it is. The away kits don't really go that crazy to me. I don't think they're that nice looking, if I'm being fair. But this year's kit now, the kit that we're currently wearing, or the kit that we were wearing.
Yeah.
Because
the top ones.
We're three stripes now. And the home kit is a bit plain.
I like the away kit more than the home kit.
The away kit. The away kit is the best away kit that we've had. That's the best away kit that we've had. But I really want to find this Romai kit.
Which one? Just send it to me to find
the most recent Romai kit that we wore that I think is the hardest kit that we've had, bro.
All right. While I do that, I'm going to share the concepts that have been turned around. This is the first one. This is a concept of the home kit. A lot of people are saying that this is what the Adidas kit will look like. How do you feel about this one?
I don't want to dive too much into these concepts. Like these aren't from Adidas, and I have like zero interest in evaluating any of these. But you can show the people. You can give some of your opinions on them.
It's cool. It's okay.
I will waste my time critiquing those. But you can do it.
If this is the kit, then fine. I wouldn't be mad at this one. But obviously people don't read too much into these kits.
Yeah.
These are just fans, are just graphic designers just making up what they think it could look like. Based on what Adidas produces over the years. That's all it is. And another one that is rumored, that was leaked, I'm going to put up right now, is this one, which is cold. I feel like it's cold. Other people say that, it's
if that's our away kit, that would then surpass.
Brother, people are saying, this is lazy from Adidas. Because they just use the flag inspired, blah, blah, blah. But I love this kit. I pray Adidas work with this. Man, may I buy that?
That's better
that's
than
the baddest kit.
That's better than the Umbra one that we just said. That's better than the Umbra one.
This is sick. Obviously, people will carry too much into it. But this would be the perfect one to just go bang. I don't know why the away kits always go so much better than the home kits. Obviously, the colors, you have to go with the bright yellow and fine. But fine. This away kit, I'd love this one. We're trying to get up the pictures that Jomar like.
No,
this is 98.
Yeah, that's the 98 one that I just sent. The Romai one
Let's see if we can get it up. All right. I think we can get up on right now. All right, here goes. So this one, what do you have to say about this one?
That's the Roma kit. I think the coldest reggae boy shirt ever.
You love this
The
one?
coldest reggae boy shirt ever. That Roma kit I just absolutely amazing. Like just the looks of it, just that trim
Mhm.
on the shoulder. Like I didn't want it. I wanted every brand will come sponsor way to just have that trim on this. Like what's wrong with that jersey?
Yeah, I like this one. The only thing I didn't like about it was that the neck was a little bit thin and wide. That was the only thing that I didn't like about it. But the design of the kit, love this kit. I remember watching football. I remember watching the Reggae Boys in this kit, and yeah, what is a Gold Cup? I can remember in this kit. So yeah, this was a recent kit. This is the one that we like. You can send it, man. You can send it, and I put it up. Another one that obviously is a big kit for Jamaica, and a lot of people have this kit. And if I can find this kit, I'd probably buy it. You know, just to have because it's a really, really good one.
Would you buy it though?
I would. Why not?
For real, for real?
For real. You like this one?
I think that's obviously the most that's obviously the most iconic jersey that Jamaica has ever worn. You know, it's not my favorite, but it's not a bad looking kit either.
I like it.
You know, I don't think it goes stupid like the Roma kit, but it means so much. You know, and I saw somebody while watching the World Cup finals. I saw somebody wearing that kit, and I was like, that's the jersey that you should be wearing. What an amazing jersey! And he's like, it's the only one that matters.
Yeah.
The 1998 jersey. And you remember Theodore Whitmore in that. You know, you remember Ricardo Gardner, Walter Boyd, and on the low, like that's the jersey that you remember them for.
It's history. It's history, and it's the first time we made the World Cup, the only time we made it to the World Cup, and so a lot of people love this one. And I must say, that's what I say. If I got a hold of this jersey, I'd probably buy it. You know, obviously considering the price. You know.
But Rush,
I buy it.
This jersey is the jersey that I think about.
All right, give me
when
a second.
thinking about Jamaican football. And a lot of people.
This a baby. The
That's
first
Ricardo
thing
Fuller.
When I see this, the first thing I think about a baby car.
I think about Fuller and Luton Shelton.
You know who I think about to Jeremy and Hugh. When we see this kid,
isn't this this is the beginning of our time watching the Reggae Boys people.
We literally see Jeremy and Hugh.
This is the all sport shirt. That's the oval shit that I was talking about.
Yeah, I remember now.
This is it for me.
Yeah.
That's just simple nostalgia. This is when I just started. This is as the old heads like Theodore Moore. They'd have played in this for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the players like Dean Burton and so on and so forth. In the early 2000s to the mid 2000s, this would have been the kit. There are a few iterations of this particular design. I like the design that come down on the black shorts.
Yeah.
But sometimes if a team played in black shorts, they wear yellow shorts with this kit. Bro, this is my childhood. Yeah. This kit right here, this kit is my childhood. And I think for me, this is the most memorable Reggae Boy shirt.
Yeah.
And I'd really like to get my hands on one of those.
For sure. This is one of them that I would get to.
This
is one of them that I would get to. As I said, the first thing I can remember, because yes, we were just getting into the football.
Yeah.
And so we'll see if you have some players that you think about. I really like, I like those not creative number things. Jeremy, you're the first one to come to me and Bibi.
Umbra just won't have those effects on me.
Yeah.
And then All Sport, they didn't replicate it from there. All Sport had a few more jerseys that I won't even bother going for. Yeah. Like I'm showing you one right now. I won't even show the people. We played in those, but it's not as memorable as that. And then Kappa had one, which is very memorable to me. That plain one with the one Kappa sign right here. Very memorable.
That's McAnuff and McCleary and Maria.
Exactly. Aruda Fasting. And even Donovan Ricketts, though he didn't wear it, he played with that team, you know. That's the type of player that
remember watching that team in the stadium too? I can remember watching that team in that jersey.
Yeah. Super plain, nothing shirt. That's a nothing shirt. My half of five.
Even Luton Shelton got a piece of that shirt and did done it up same way. I think that free kick was good in that shirt.
In that plain shirt.
Yeah. So people tell us, do you like the concept kits? Which one of the Jamaican kits are your favorite? My favorite is probably that away kit last year, along with that 90 kit. I really like it. And that one that Joe Mar said, the All Sport one, really good one.
That Roma kit though.
It's the Roma, not All Sport.
Oh my God.
Roma.
That Roma kit with the sleeves actually go crazy.
Yeah.
Actually go crazy. But yeah, Adidas though. I think Adidas, because Jamaica has had such good kits,
Yeah.
I think Adidas will have, a difficult time coming up with something that hit, because as I said, none of these Umbra kits will go down as iconic kits. None of them will go down as iconic kits. None of them will have any memory. We didn't do anything remarkable in them, nor did they look really outstanding where, they're memorable. So none of those kits will be anything of note, to be fair.
Yeah.
Adidas have to come good. In addition to the fact that Jamaica has to play well to make these kits iconic and to make these kits memorable.
Yeah.
And the thing about it too is Jamaica doesn't have a trademark. Like Croatia has the checkers and Argentina has the stripes. So like I think it's easy to what you're getting with one of those teams. All you have to do is just make a nice design. It's hard with Jamaica. You have to come with something authentic. This was the Nothing Kappa kit. That reminds
wasn't great.
That reminds me of there's a simplicity to it.
But right back. Who's our right back this time?
Right back, Jermaine Taylor.
Jermaine Taylor was our left
back.
back.
Jermaine Taylor was 15. Left back was Demar Phillips and Kemar Lawrence.
Demar Phillips.
Yeah.
This is who I think of when I see this shirt too.
Demar Phillips.
I didn't like Demar Phillips still,
Demar Phillips were the 12.
I like Demar Phillips as a player this time. But the kit wasn't a great kit. I didn't love this kit. I can't even remember our away kit.
I remember that way. There's a green kit,
same like this.
Same design.
Green kit, just like I remember now, but it's not memorable. Not at all.
People wear that remember so much, but people will love. Oh God, man, we love regular.
And it just reminds you of a time. You see it, But people, this is Studio Talk. This is what we're here for. We're having fun. We're going to, have some reasoning.
Please, in the comment section, people. Obviously, we know we beg a lot, but comment, interact with us. It really helps.
You can beg still,
Bridging, me and the people talk.
Do you think? Sorry.
It really helps people. When you guys leave a comment, interact with each other. Tell we say, we are boy, we don't know the jersey them. Tell we say the 98 jersey are the baddest. Just tell us in the comment section. Leave a comment, interact with us. If you guys ask us a question or say something very interactive, I guarantee you will respond.
There we go.
So say something interactive, say something constructive. Just say hi, greet me, big you up. Tell us your food shot up. Tell us your favorite jersey. My favorite jersey are the Roma jersey, because I think it looks the best.
Yeah.
The most meaningful one to me are the All Sport run. The boring and the lamest one are the Kappa one recently.
Mm-hmm. All right, people. Again, this is what? Say it. I want you guys to type it in the comment section right now. What is this show called?
Studio Talk.
There we go. People, don't forget to like, comment.
Don't even
just say it wrong, but just say it
no,
wrong.
You never say share, so don't worry about it.
All right.
And share the video to at least 10 people. Ensure to get a 6 subscriber. People. Segue next.
All right, people. So, there you have the second segment of Studio Talk. Now we're going into the final segment of our first episode of Studio Talk. And this is where we talk about the English Premier League, sir.
Weekly weekly EPL show.
And this is the best league in the world. We have a few Jamaicans playing in the league, doing well in the league. Some not playing in the league. I don't want to talk about it.
That's for the next episode of Keeping Up with the Reggae.
That's what Keeping Up with the Reggae Boys. People, stay tuned to the next episode of Studio Talk. But this is the Premier League. And I was just saying that we have some interest in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the interest in the Premier League. And it's Arsenal. Let's talk about, are Arsenal the real deal right now?
You're blind?
Let me answer the question.
No,
I'm here to moderate. I'm here to ask the questions.
And I'm here to answer the questions.
So you're asking me if I'm blind right now?
That is it.
Ask the people if they're blind, brother. The people that want to hear you, answer them. Me as ask the people that want to hear.
Ask me the question again. Ask me the question.
Are Arsenal the real deal?
Well, based on my meticulous analysis of this season, from the very inception in August to where we are right now, it is clear to me, and it is easy for me to make the assertion.
Don't find it out still enough.
That Arsenal are without a doubt the best football team in all of Europe right now. Unequivocally. I think they're playing the best football. I think they're the best coach. I think they're the most consistent. And I think they just have the most swag. They just pass it. They just make some pass and make some tackle. And we have such a very good defense. We have such a confident set of young players, the youngest team.
Bro.
Doing the best in the league. I think Arsenal, I'm an objective journalist. I think Arsenal
We give up.
have the best team right now, and they're playing the best football right now in all of Europe.
I give up. I said to you, I'm going to fan it out. I don't care. I'm going to fan it out. This was the time I was looking for. This was what I was asking for all these years.
You got it out.
I tried for like a second and I failed. I have to fan it out. As an Arsenal fan, I've been asking over the years, what are we doing? What do we try to do when we go on the football field? And I know exactly what I'm getting from Arsenal right now. I know exactly what I'm getting from Mikel Arteta right now. Hopefully people don't suss it out and it get, repetitive and they know what to expect to the point where they can stop it. It's hard to stop. I don't think we can stop it right now. Definitely can't stop it this
season.
We
are so dynamic. Arsenal, I've seen it a couple of times this season, and that's why I predicted in about the middle of the middle of the first 3 months of the season, like in about October, November, before the World Cup. I was telling you they were going to win the World Cup. Mm-hmm. They were going to win the Premier League because of how dynamic they were. Because I've seen matches like Crystal Palace where they play, they like get pressure, suck up pressure, get out and win the game. I've seen where they've given up the ball, they've won the game. Like in that Crystal Palace match, we had a poor match, managed to get the points from the game.
Comebacks, dominate games. Now we've seen it all. So I do believe that Arsenal are the really, obviously City is nothing to sleep on. City can make a run, but I don't believe that Arsenal right now. Last year they were in the top 4. And inexperience caused them the top 4. They had games in hand. They had an easy run of game going into the last 2 or 3 games of the season, and they fluffed their lines, and Tottenham sneaked into it.
And it was the natural line of progression. They were improving, and last year they were the youngest team in the league, still are, but they're older now than they were last year.
And Mikel Arteta is a better coach than he was last year. He's a more experienced coach than he was last year. And I'm expecting Arsenal to go all the way. If they don't go all the way, then that's just City's greatness. I don't think Newcastle are. Let's get to Newcastle soon, but I feel like Arsenal right now.
If they don't go all the way, it's not City's greatness. It's Arsenal's league to lose.
I can't go that far. I feel like
no team has lost after having this many points at this point of the season.
Right. And
so that's why I say it's Arsenal.
Record get.
Yeah, for sure. But if this record is broken, it's Arsenal season still.
Fine. Let's talk about Newcastle for a second. Right now they're sitting in second place. City obviously plays today.
And considering
they played before this game,
considering that this is a weekly show,
this video,
it's I think it's ideal that we started off speaking about Arsenal and Newcastle because we have to speak about this week's football and what we saw. And what we saw was an absolutely amazing top 4 battle, in my opinion. We saw Newcastle's coach Eddie Howe, so self-aware, such an outstanding manager, and he's proven himself time and time again. And the game against Arsenal was no different. How he had his men go to the Emirates and play exactly how they wanted to play. He messed the game up. He got to the tout. They took many dives. They wasted a lot of time. They frustrated Arsenal players, and they defended staunchly, as Newcastle do, being the best defense, and it's not an accident. The best defense in the whole Premier League. I was saying something, jokingly, of course. A statement like this would have people question my footballing knowledge. But I'm saying with the likes of Shah and Byrne and Nick Pope, how can a team kick the ball in the goal? Those 3 guys take up all the space on the whole entire football field. They're just 3 huge men. And then the athleticism of Trippier on one side, the name of the other wing back eludes me right now. There's no way you score on this team. They're so hard to score on, and they play so disciplined. And then the transition play of Bruno Guimaraes, who has to be in the team of the season.
Definitely.
To this point, right? He just gets it up top so quickly and so efficiently. And let's not even speak about Miguel Almiron, who didn't have his best game against Arsenal because of the greatness of Arsenal, who were really down Newcastle's throat for the whole game. But Almiron still managed to work hard, and he still managed to help his team, even when he wasn't at his usual shiny best. This Newcastle team are the real deal. And one thing I can say is that when it's not going great and when you're not playing your best football, the ability to gut out results away is what it takes. It's what a Champions League team looks like.
Yeah, and I feel like they will be playing Champions League football. I told someone that yesterday that Newcastle are going to finish in the top 4. I do believe that. No, the jump that they made last year, they just received the Saudi money. like last year. You know, they bought the club and my God, they did something fast.
Good management.
Good management and good investment. We talk about Trippier being one of their first, buys. They bought Burn. They bought Isaac.
Nick Pope.
They bought Nick Pope.
Yeah.
And so many, Guimaraes and some of those players that are smart buys. They didn't break the bank to buy them. They bought no one for $100 million.
Kieran Trippier is playing at $100 million right back level.
Yeah. And also, they made players better. Almiron, who's there, is playing at a higher level. Joe Ellington, that was there, is playing at a higher level.
Wilson.
Joe Willock, playing at a...
Wilson went to the World Cup.
There we go.
And he's been on super form. Nick Pope has been the best goalkeeper in the Premier League. Burn is team of the season. Yeah. That's how he's playing. And this is Newcastle right now. Definitely well deserving of where they are right now. And that game was an epic game. It ended in a 0-0 draw, but I think it was a good match. Arsenal were robbed of a penalty. I say that definitively. I'm all for VAR.
Well, get it right.
But I don't understand it.
Get it right. Just get it right. Just get it right.
I don't understand it. Arsenal should have gotten that penalty. Saka was his usual shine. The best. Martinelli looked like he didn't have the step as he normally does. Saliba. What about what Saliba's come back from the World Cup and he's not like himself?
We kept a clean sheet, so I'm not going to be too harsh on him.
He made a few mistakes.
He's made a few mistakes. The last 3 games, they haven't been his best game, but is that 2 clean sheets? No, 1 clean sheet in those games. Hopefully, he picks it up from here. Gabriel looks to be, we expected Gabriel to be the better one coming into the season.
Saliba was better than him by far.
Before the World Cup.
And Gabriel
he looks the man. He looks the man. He looks the man right now. And I don't care, Bridging. He hasn't made a mistake. Well, he made 1 mistake that led to a goal, giving up a penalty.
I think both goals you were complicit in. The 2 goals.
Yeah, but a direct understand, but a direct mistake, like what he did, immediately cost the goal. In the last game, he didn't make a mistake that cost the goal. Hopefully, it's a stepping stone, in the right direction to play some better football. He didn't play at the World Cup. He played like 50 minutes or 60 minutes.
No, he played 90 minutes.
I don't think he finished. He
started the game and finished the game.
Well, he played 1 game in the World Cup, and
that's the only time he featured.
Yes, I don't.
Game versus Tunisia.
Yeah,
that they lost 1-0.
They rotated. I don't expect him to be tired. I expect him to step it up. But let's talk about some other teams. Manchester United deserves a big shout out.
Yeah.
Eric Ten Hag.
Eric 14 Hag.
Bridging we can't go 10 and 4. We can't go 11 Hag right now. We can't go Eric and 9 Hag. We can't go none of that right now. The man are getting people to play some football.
Oh
Marcus Rashford it has a new lease on life. They here. Newly. Huh?
What's Cristiano Ronaldo the problem?
I see correlation. Cause, not so sure, but I see correlation. And if you're going to make that take, I can't argue it. Obviously, if Eric Ten Hag was supposed to come out and say, he was the issue all along, I would agree with him. I would then say, all right, you make it up, big man. But from the outside right now, maybe, a lot of coaches don't just come in and it goes bang.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it takes some time. And maybe without Ronaldo, it would have taken some time. So we have to say that. But based on what I'm seeing from Manchester United right now, and I expected them to make. Ten Hag did well in Ajax. He's a very good coach and he did well with young players.
Spent good money.
Yeah.
And you know what you say? What you say? Coaches liking who they like. We saw Arteta go for Gabriel and Oli. And that's Zinchenko that I speak. He's Oli. That's what I call him affectionately,
Gabriel being Jesus.
Those 2 players that Arteta went for.
He knows.
That wasn't a mistake. And we see Ten Hag break the bank for Anthony and brought over Lisandro. It's not a mistake. Mm-hmm. And we see where he opts to go with Lisandro Martinez, tooth and nail.
Over his club captain.
And Martinez has been proving him right over and over again. And Anthony has come to England and made an immediate impact.
Yeah. Will his injury affect them now?
I think it will. I think it will. But they do have competent replacements. Garnacho
playing some football.
England is so excited for Garnacho. My goodness.
Yeah. That kid.
So, I think Ten Hag has done really well with these guys. Casemiro some good money.
And Casemiro playing some football, man.
My next question is this Bruno Fernandes's team?
At the moment, yeah. This is Bruno Fernandez's team. It should have been Maguire's team, but Maguire can't see the field and Maguire makes too many mistakes.
Played
And I
last
feel
game.
like
Played a
yeah, he
good
played the
game.
last game. Lindelof also played in the
Mhm.
game before. And we saw Martinez come on in the what?
Yeah, in the
Okay, so we
87th
know
minute.
that Martinez is the starting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Just
don't
come
think,
back from vacation.
yeah, I don't think Maguire as I look at it right now. But it is Bruno's team, I believe. You know, we see Bruno being the man on the pitch. You know, his demeanor is kind of, he has that demeanor even when he's not the man. But I feel like right now he's embracing the role, and I feel like Eric Ten Hag is not even telling him to calm down. Yeah, so Bruno, and he's played some good football. He came back from the World Cup being Portugal's best player. I say that, with my chest. He was Portugal's best player in that World Cup, and he's back playing some good football.
And last question about Manchester United. Is it okay for me to say I told you so about Marcus Rashford?
But the thing is, bro, there are a lot of things that I told you that I don't necessarily, I don't want my I told you so moments. I don't care about it. I really don't care about it. I don't care. So if you want to say that you told me so, if it's going to give your ego a little boost, then fine. The thing that I told you, the people have it on record. It's fine. It's fine. You can go for it. Say it, man.
Yeah, people.
3 words.
Marcus Rashford,
I told you 4. Sorry, we can't have a code.
I honestly believe that Marcus Rashford has been so underrated because every time I've seen him, he's looked so good, but he's just missing that one thing where you're like, oh, you're not the end product, or
250,000 a week, you can't just be looking good. And that's the point that Manchester United supporters make, bro. I pay you $250,000, I give you Raheem Sterling money. Obviously, Raheem Sterling makes more for City and Chelsea. But I give you $250,000, I give you Aubameyang's money. You are supposed to give me 20 plus goals. I give you, the money that the best in the Premier League are making. You're making more money than Mohamed Salah.
Yeah,
give me 20 goals, and if you can't do that, you're not living up to the money that I paid you. That's the point. But as a player, I agree.
His age, that could have been
number 10 Manchester United.
He looks like it now, though.
No, he looks like it now, and obviously, I mean, I wish bad for the players. That's why I'm hopes that he doesn't continue like this because I hate Manchester
United. I hope that he doesn't continue like this, even though I believe.
I say it without saying it, man. You can't just just keep the Manchester United people by your side and keep watching the show.
Watch the show for us.
All right, people.
I said Rashford would become this.
Yeah.
And I do believe that Rashford is next up for England after Hurricane. I do believe that Rashford is the next star for England. I genuinely believe that he's that guy.
I feel like Bukayo Saka is the next star for England.
No, I think Saka is going to be the best player for England. And I feel
like he's going to be the man for England.
I think Rashford is going to be the next 50 goal scorer for England.
I
don't think Saka is going to be that next 50 goal scorer.
Hey, make us see. We know Saka have goals in the match. And you pick Rashford.
Rashford already have a head start on Saka in terms of goals.
All right.
For England.
Okay, he's older. Saka is just 21 years old. So, people, Manchester United, I hate you. I just wanted to say that. That's all I just wanted to say right there.
All right, segue into the others, but we can talk about City first.
Yeah.
Erling Haaland doesn't stop scoring.
Yeah.
Will he ever stop scoring?
No, I don't think he will. and the thing is, we made a few predictions. You made one that he would score over 30 goals over 40. He will break the record that is now 32. I said that Kevin De Bruyne will break the assist record, and Kevin De Bruyne is in double digits right now before the half of the season.
Start off with a dud though. Start off by the New Year with a dud after Christmas.
Yeah, but still.
What is KDB? Am I bring the Belgium bad voodoo on the man team?
And a lot of people is calling his age right now. They're saying, are we seeing the start of the end?
I don't know, but he was ridiculous like just 3 months ago.
Yeah, and so 9 assists. Not one more game to the halfway of the season, and I still expect him to beat that 20 goal mark. Alan is not slowing down. Grealish is obviously taking up the assist now.
I expect the slow start from KDB. I thought he came back, especially he came back in the cup match. Amazing.
Yeah.
And then the league starts and he had like 3 subpar performances. So I don't know what's going on there.
Make us see. City looks like City. I don't.
To be honest, not really.
That's what I said. Dropping the points. Was it to Brighton? I don't remember. But they dropped some points. I didn't expect that from them. But guess what? As an Arsenal fan, I love it. I can't say I hate City. I can't lie. I don't hate City.
I don't hate City.
But I definitely like the fact that I love the fact that they drop points. It's unlike them in a weird way. City is usually like threatening to go unbeaten. They always threaten to do it.
Every single game.
Exactly. So, City is just giving us City performances with some odd ones in there.
Haaland can be more clinical.
Haaland can be more clinical, but the thing is,
That's
the
why-
strikers
that's why-
that
that's
score the
why
most.
That's why I believe that Harry Kane is better than Haaland.
The thing is, the strikers that score the most also tend to miss the most chances because they get the most chances. Being in the position that he's in all the time, I mean, he's also one of the most clinical strikers in the world.
Not
So
everybody can be Messi.
not everybody can be Messi. And Haaland has a very good chance of doing some things that Messi never did.
Oh
So
my
here
God.
what? Haaland is the man right now.
Yep.
Haaland is the man right now. And finally, Haaland is the man right now.
Will he ever stop scoring?
No, he won't.
He won't.
Erling Haaland, we're not Man City fans, people. We just have to give the credit where it is due.
Fulham, Brentford,
Brentford right now.
Albion.
Yeah,
Albion.
Albion.
What do you have to say about those?
Brighton doing what?
Losing Graham Potter.
Yeah, they lost Graham Potter, but at the same time, their coach is taking good steps.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's not Graham Potter.
No.
And you can see it.
But I can see Brighton being more pragmatic in the way they play. Graham Potter had them looking way more creative, had them looking way more like a top team. They're looking more pragmatic, but still managing to get results, still managing to score goals.
Yeah, and I like that about Brighton.
Trossard hasn't been himself as he was under Graham Potter. After the World Cup, he had been
and it's a good squad.
Been one of Belgium's only okay players at this World Cup. I thought he would have come back on full fire, but I just don't think he's fitting in as he did with Graham Potter. I don't think this coach has them as well greased as Potter did. Yeah, I can definitely see the loss of Graham Potter.
And new coaches take some time to bed in. And speaking of new coaches bedding in, Graham Potter himself is taking some time and being very inconsistent at Chelsea.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Brighton, has a good squad. And their coach is taking some time. Graham Potter, who was their coach and playing some really good football, at Brighton, that earned him the move to Chelsea, is also being inconsistent and taking some time to bed in. Eric Ten Hag took some time to bed in. Mikel Arteta, even though he won the FA Cup, took some time to bed in. So people that we know are good managers usually get the time, but time will run out. So those teams that you mentioned, Brentford needs a big shout out. Brentford is being what we expect them to be, a solid Premier League team. They're good enough, and I wanted to speak a little bit about something that we spoke about off the air. England choosing Callum Wilson over Ivan Toney, who has been consistent throughout the whole Premier League season. In fact, for the last
season,
two, exactly,
and in the championship.
Exactly. So speak about that. How can Callum Wilson, get that call up over Ivan Toney based on what he's been doing in the Premier League for the last 2 years?
I only can draw speculations and say it's the controversy that surrounds him. I mean, it's gambling controversy or his disloyal actions or imbecilic actions, or
the mouthpiece on him, man.
Yeah, that might be the only
those
thing.
Fingers.
Yeah, that might be the only thing that I could see cause him that spot in the English team, because I was so certain that Ivan Toney would be rendered ineligible after this World Cup to play for the Reggae Boys.
He ain't.
He's not.
He ain't.
But I was certain that he would have been, because I thought that the World Cup and minutes in the World Cup was assured. As the Brentford people said, Ivan Toney would have scored.
There we go.
And to be honest, he would have scored.
Yeah.
He don't miss penalties.
I agree with you.
And England would probably win the World Cup had it been Ivan Toney on that penalty instead of him.
Can't fight. It wouldn't have happened, though. It wouldn't have happened.
Because it would have still been
He would have still been kid.
But yeah.
But I get what you're saying, and I agree. That was Ivan Toney's spot. I do believe he was robbed of a World Cup spot, and maybe robbed of a World Cup goal, and maybe robbed of good World Cup performances, and something to tell his kids about. Yeah. So I don't really love that. But Brentford as a team, though, we know we're gonna do keep up with the Reggae Boys, but Ethan Pinnock, big comeback and playing, picking up where he left off. But we're gonna talk about it. Right. In keeping up with Reggae Boys, people look forward to another episode. No, I can't even say another episode or another week. How many of these will we be doing?
Studio Talk.
How many of the, we said 3 per week?
Yeah.
At least 3 per week. There will be hot weeks that we just have to do some shows. But people, this is Studio Talk. This is Studio Talk. This is a good show. I feel like it was a good one to start it off. We talk about all things sports, people. This was our third and final segment, the Premier League segment. I hope you guys enjoyed this one.
But before, a quick recap, we spoke about Dejan Richards, his eligibility and whether or not he will continue to be Jamaican as it relates to the country that he plays for. Mm-hmm. We also spoke about the new Adidas deal. We went through some of our favorite kits. We took a walk down memory lane. We also spoke about what that sponsorship could mean for us. And lastly, we finished out with our weekly EPL show. Newcastle looking good. Arsenal looking even better. Chelsea not looking so great.
There we go. People, if you like the studio talk, like the video. Leave a comment under this one and subscribe to This or That Sports TV. Do one more thing though.
One last thing. Share the video to at least 10 people, but ensure to get us 6 subscribers. Because if each and every one of you guys can do that, you know how many subscribers will get us by the end of the day.
There we go, a lot. People for now, this was Studio Talk, brought to you by This or That Sports TV. Jomar and the Rush, and they're out.